We have a crisis in higher education today. Too many of our young people cannot afford a college education, and many of those who are leaving school are faced with crushing debt. It is a national disgrace that hundreds of thousands of young Americans do not go to college, not because they are unqualified, but simply because they cannot afford it. This is absolutely counterproductive to our efforts to create a strong, competitive economy and a vibrant middle class. This is not what America is supposed to be about. This disgrace has got to end.
Yo, what's good? This is your boy, your man, Randall Barnes, and you're watching the Randall Barnes Experience video podcast. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at Author Randall B. Also, go to Amazon and check out my novels, The Diary of Leah Anderson, Volume 1 and Volume 2, along with Riverview High Circumstances. So this has been one of the most entertaining, intriguing presidential elections to date. On both sides, the candidates are going at each other's necks, and the X factor as to why this election is so entertaining is, of course, Donald Trump. But everybody's so caught up in the playground style arguing that the Republicans are doing that they're neglecting real mature policy conversations that the Democrats are having at their different public events, such as their town halls and their debates. I'm a college freshman and a first-time undecided voter. So when I was hearing that there was a plan to lower student loan interest or just eliminate tuition and debt altogether, I got intrigued. I know that college students that go to public universities feel the same. Secretary Clinton and Senator Sanders both have plans for public universities, but there are vast differences. First of all, Secretary Clinton's college plan seems more realistic. It lays out a concrete plan on what she's going to do and also gives a figure for how much it's going to cost in tax dollars. Just like Senator Sanders, she plans to tax high-income earners, but we actually have a number. Researching Bernie Sanders' tuition-free college plan, I could not find a set number that taxpayers would have to pay. The only thing I saw was that Wall Street bankers would have to pay more. Bernie Sanders' college plan is the most intriguing to me because it says tuition free. Tuition is something that burdens a lot of public university students down, and it seems to rise every year. Bernie Sanders has campaigned on having tuition-free and debt-free colleges. The idea sounds incredibly far-fetched, but he says it's possible and needed to create a well-educated workforce in a competitive economy. He always boasts that public universities in America are behind the times, as other collegiate institutions around the world have tuition-free education. However, saying that is really deceptive. First of all, Senator Sanders does not clearly detail how public colleges and universities will create a budget or how much the average American citizen's taxes will increase. Public colleges are businesses, and studies show that they get 24% of their operating budget from government set-asides and 20% from tuition costs. That's 44% of their revenue. For a tuition-free public university system to work, taxes are going to have to increase so set-asides can increase. The Center on Budget and Policy Priorities reports that 38% of state tax revenues goes towards education, with only 13% of it set aside for a collegiate education. Research shows that tuition-free colleges work in these other countries because the enrollment number is significantly lower. The top American public universities have hundreds of thousands of students enrolled. That's a lot of money to offset tuition costs being taken away. And Bernie Sanders has not specified what would happen to smaller institutions and HBCUs who are notable for having budget shortfalls. Instead of advocating for tuition-free education, why not fight to create more scholarships so enrolling students won't have to take out high interest loans? That's more realistic. Bernie Sanders campaigns on the notion that it needs to be a better educated workforce, so free access to education is needed. But why not propose that more money be put into business loans and grants for minority-owned businesses? That way, jobs can be created. Hey, Bernie Sanders is cool and all, but we need to be educated voters. If he wants to win over young black voters from Secretary Clinton, he needs to be more specific about his plans for public institutions.